All right. I'd like to call to order the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for January 4th, 2023. Roll call.
Arel? Here. Budke?
Here.
Kuhn? Lunsky?
Here.
Matacek?
Here.
Mattson?
Here.
Reichert? Sandy? Here. Waspick? We have a quorum.
Okay, reading of the minutes from November 2nd and December 7th. We are going to forward this on to the February meeting, and we'll have those minutes to read and approve at that meeting. Public hearings, final approvals, petition, and minor changes.
We'll need to read it in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Item 3-1, conditional use permit, small animal crematorium in B3 zone at 2612 Gateway Drive. Applicant requested to table.
Yep. So this one will be tabled again till next month, and hopefully we'll have some certainty from them soon on whether or not this is going to move forward or not. So we have not done mailings for this meeting, so because we knew it was going to be tabled.
Okay. With that,
Move to table?
thank you, Mr. Matacek. Second by Mr. Budke. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. 3-1 is tabled.
Item 4-1, vacation at 20th Avenue North from North 48th Street to North 55th Street.
Mr. Brooks.
Thank you. So the next three items are all related to the same project. So I'll kind of give you a quick tour of where we're going to be. Here's I-29 along the edge here of the development. Strata is located here. Gateway Drive down here on the southern portion. Just up from Gateway Drive is the next public road is 17th Avenue North, which isn't actually a road yet, but on paper it's actually platted right away. There's a lift station that's located in the corner of 17th and North 52nd. If you were to go out there by car, you would just think it was in the middle of a farm field, but with the line work, you can kind of see that what the plan is for that area. Previously, the plan was also to bring 20th Avenue North through in roughly this configuration here. The plat that's going to be on the next item kind of shows that instead they're looking to probably wisely split this piece of property from 21st to 17th down the middle with 19th Avenue. So at this point, we're looking to vacate 20th Avenue, and then we'll kind of get into it. The meat of it under the next item, which actually shows that what their plan is and how they're moving forward. So for this item, I'll kind of stop there and pause if you have any other questions, but that would handle the vacation of 20th Avenue.
Do we want to take these, any questions on this one, take the other one, and then break them back apart and vote on them?
I can certainly keep going and show you the full
I almost want to, I'm seeing a lot of
Keep
head
going.
nods, yes, Mr. Brooks, so why don't you please continue with 4-2? We'll back up, split them up, and vote on them.
Sure, absolutely. So here's the plat. So here's that 20th Avenue as it comes through and being vacated. Again, 21st Avenue is, I'll pull back a little bit here just to show it all. So this is that area that we're looking to vacate. 21st Avenue is up on the north. And just so you know, Chairman, Pete Kuhn is on the line as well, just so we'll get that into the records. 17th Avenue down here. Here's that lift station lot. Again, 19th Avenue is going to be the new road coming through here. This is going to be a storm pond location here. We have Strata over here on this side, and they're going to be developing lots down here on 17th to start. And a little bit deeper lots over here, a little bit more shallow over on the eastern side. So that's kind of the full development, with North 52nd kind of being that main spine through the property. That's kind of a quick look at it. The applicants are here tonight and certainly able to answer any questions as well. But from our perspective, from a staff, this is going to be a future logistics park. The current zoning on the property is heavy industrial, so there's no zoning change that you're seeing with this request. There's no reason to put it in a PUD. We're just going forward with the standard I-2 heavy industrial that's already in place.
Any questions for Mr. Brooks from commission? Pretty straightforward. Mr. Matichak?
Yeah, is this mainly warehouses?
I think, no, not necessarily all warehouses. I think it could be anything that fits within an I-2. I think there's a potential to sell off to somebody else who may be trucking related in this area, you know, they're a mechanic or other folks too that could.
But those types of buildings?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
For sure, yep. And we kind of see this as an important piece, 55th as a light on it down on Gateway Drive. So we've kind of been envisioning, once the city and the DOT put that in, that we kind of saw that this was going to grow into this area. And we always had this kind of pegged for large lot industrial development, which is what they're looking to do.
Okay. I think we'll break it back apart. We'll look at 4-1 first. Any more questions or any motions on that 4-1? Moved by Mr.
Second.
Lunsky, second by Ms. Sandy. Any further discussion on 4-1? Not seeing any hands. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, 4-1 passes. 4-2, same scenario.
I'll move to approve.
Moved by Mrs. Zarell,
Second.
second by Mr. Lunsky. No further discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, 4-2 carries as well. 4-3,
So the 4-3 item, we're still doing some internal work on this. So the pond, as I mentioned, is going to be up here. We're looking to annex that. North 52nd will need to annex. Down here, this is the existing city limit line as it exists today. Here is Britain Transport is over located in this area. I think Hugo's has a warehouse out in this area off of North 42nd, and Wilbur Ellis is in this area. So there's a couple spots that we're still looking to contact the owners just to get a feel for them, what their thoughts are on annexation. It's potential after those conversations that may get pulled off of this annexation at this point, and maybe have different conversation of how that could occur. We do know that needs to come in. We don't want to leave islands out there. So that's part of all of that discussion. But city utility areas, we definitely want in. We don't have any more further conversation on that until we have those conversations with those owners. Tonight's info only for you. Annexations don't actually go through you, but as a courtesy, we've been asked to kind of continue, and our practice is going to be bringing this before you just so you guys see what the total plan is. But I don't have full information on that. We're still working on that. Over the holidays, it's kind of tough to get a hold of people, especially when nowadays with phone books, home phone numbers, it's really difficult to find people. So we're still working on that. And so with that, that's kind of that next piece, but that's not for a vote tonight. So, but we will have more information for you next month because those other items are 2-month deals.
any questions on this for Mr. Brooks? Kind of, Mr. Budke?
Yeah, I guess. Sorry. I guess whenever I see the annexation worksheet, I can't help but, I just wanted to comment, I know we're not voting on anything, but I don't think that this annexation point rating system worksheet is useful, or I don't think it's capturing the right questions.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't want to belabor this necessarily, but I feel like the points, I feel like they're misweighted, right? There's a lot of points that are given toward contiguity and just location, right? Like in their tier rating, and much less given to like the availability of the utilities, right? Water, sewer, transportation, the fire. So I feel like this whole thing needs to be rethought, frankly. I don't think the right things are being captured.
Okay. Do you think the right things aren't being captured or they're not being weighted correctly? I heard two different things maybe.
Well, both, frankly.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think like the flood protection is on here as 3 points. I feel like that should be much much more. I don't think that the location and the contiguity are, I feel like those are misweighted. And then I think as far as like the water and the sewer, those things, those, to me, that speaks to like infrastructure that has to be built out and services that need to be extended. And in that case, it doesn't seem like, we're not talking about costs then. We're just talking about proximity to within a half mile. We're not talking about like, how much does it cost to run that pipe out there? Is it within the current capacity or like what was planned for that?
Yeah.
So I guess it's a little of both.
Okay. Yeah, this has been this has been reworked through the years, and it's not a set forever document, but it is a tool that's used, and we're always willing to take feedback on it, and ultimately it come back before you. It is part of that land use plan, so
Okay.
we'd bring it back to you guys, and well, we'll bring it back in another 5-10 years, next time we
Okay.
come with the land use plan, so.
Okay.
But it's always good to get that
Something to
info.
look forward to.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Any other comments? I do, we have been stressing not to try to leave the pockets, so that would be nice to not. I think that gets us in trouble down the road, really bad. The other thing I gotta say is I hope the council will look at our role in annexations in the future and put us back into play, at least given some advisement and voting towards that. I think I'll publicly say that. They can do what they'd like to, but I do feel the importance of this commission and its audience to be part of that annexation process.
Yeah, and I haven't heard city council necessarily say no to that, so that might
I
be
haven't
something
either.
that we can entertain, looking at an ordinance and seeing if they want to recapture that, or I can have that conversation and
Yeah, I don't
maybe
think
look at some options.
I don't feel that they've taken it away either. I think it was just a relook at the ordinances and how they all folded together, and I think it was something that was just always done. And then we undid it with 2022's mess, and I'd like to put it back in play, whether we do an ordinance for it or something.
Okay.
Bring it back into this commission.
Yep, I'll bounce that off a few folks and look at some options.
Yep, anybody's got a question, they can call me.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for that. I think we're good if nobody else has got questions on that anymore. I think we'll move on. Item 4.4.
Item 4-4, rezoning of 1401 Dyke Avenue, North Dakota Coffee Roastery, from I-1 Light Industrial to North Dakota Coffee Roastery Micro PUD zoning.
Thank you.
Miss Johnson, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. So as you can see on the screen, 1401 Dyke Avenue is the former Surefoot building. It's right south of the Housing Authority parking lot, which you can see right at the top of the photo. And then it's west, just a couple lots west of the Washington underpass. Currently it's owned by Sandy Luck of Bully Brew, and it is currently a coffee roastery, the ND Coffee Roastery. So right now she uses it for coffee roasting as well as some warehousing and then office space, which fits in the light industrial zoning. However, the property is huge, so she's looking to use just a portion of it for an event space with 25 or less people there at a given time. But that's not really allowed in I-1 right now, so we're proposing the ND Coffee Roastery Micro PUD. That would include B3 zoning as well as I-1 to maintain the uses that it currently uses, and then just allow for the event space. We chose B3 because it kind of makes sense with the development that's going on down Dyke Avenue, right adjacent. We have the Pedal, and then just a couple doors down from that is Dance Etc. So it kind of makes sense with what's going on down there on Dyke Avenue. Also, the applicant is here to answer any questions that you may have as well. So with that, I stand for questions. Oh yeah, and we're recommending approval, preliminary approval.
Any questions from the commission? Was that a question from Mr. Kuhn? I think he's the one online. Okay, maybe just some background noise. Any question? Preliminary approval at this time. I'm sure you'll come back with all kinds of exciting and great information. Do I have a motion?
Yeah, I'll move approval.
Moved by Ms. Sandy.
Second.
Second by Mr. Budke. Any further discussion? Seeing no hands, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 4-4 passes. Reports from Planning Department. Mr. Brooks, election of officers. Dangerous one.
Yeah, so every 2 years we do this, and it's president, currently, you're the president, vice president, I want to say is Alex, and secretary is Megan. And there is no term limit, so we can certainly do that full slate again. Nobody contacted us about interest. The other one that I didn't mention last time is we also need to appoint MPO rep. That has been Al Grasser, and I did speak with him. He's actually at the joint city council meeting tonight, was not able to be here, but on kind of filling his role. And there's discussion on bridges between the two communities. So in the past, I think that's been one of the reasons that we've appointed him, but he's certainly willing to serve in that role again and
Well,
continue
let's
that
walk
spot.
before we run here. Let's get one off the books. Is there any other, people have asked me, I said I would do it again, just because we got to have an easier year than last year. But anybody else interested?
What do we need to do? Just,
Motion second.
okay, I'll make a
Approval.
motion for Steve to continue as president. I'll second.
I think we have to.
Yeah, one at a time. I'll second.
We got Miss Sandy and Miss Rel. Further discussion? Hornswoggled in. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, now we'll move to the vice president.
Can we move to approve him if he's not here?
I believe so.
Do we know he's,
I believe he'd be interested in doing it again. I know he was on his way here. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, we did plan on seeing him, but he did not discuss that he was not interested in taking the position.
I move
assume
to
that he's
approve.
still interested. Yeah.
Discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Unanimous, Mr. Reichert is.
Mr. Rick's vice.
So then we have our third position as secretary. Miss Sandy, are you interested in continuing on?
I move to approve.
Move for Miss Sandy. Second, Mr. Lunsky. Any discussions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Miss Sandy, congratulations. Congratulations to Mr. Reichert, and I'm sorry to Mr. Wasvik. MPO commission, MPO representative, do we have, Al Grasser has been kind enough to volunteer. Anybody want to make a motion, or does anybody here want to do it? I should open that up to as well. Pretty crickets.
Motion to keep Al on as the MPO.
Thank you, Mr. Lunsky. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Sorrell. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Congratulations to Mr. Grasser.
Or
And
condolences.
thank him for us, Mr. Brooks,
Yes. we
for
will do
doing that thankless job of the
We'll let him know.
MPO.
Yeah. Appreciate it. We have nothing else from staff other than next month, we are going to have a little bit fuller agenda, and it'll include the annual report that I think Andrea's nearly done, except for the parts that I was supposed to get done, which I'm going to steal her thunder on that.
So you got to retract your statement. Andrea's done, not nearly done.
Andrea's
You're
done,
not done.
but I wasn't done, yes. Yes, so the annual report will be before you next month.
I think we got one of them Mexican guns in the background. Pizza Mexican.
That's it from staff.
All right. Any other business from the commission? Mr. Matichek, please.
Yeah, Ryan, how are we doing on, doing?
Cheryl, can we mute?
Can we mute that? Sorry, Mr. Matichek.
Well, that's okay.
I'm struggling to hear it.
I'm not sure where it's coming from.
I think it's from Pete.
Let's just,
I was just curious if we've done anything with the animal, looking at the animal uses and zones and et cetera, like we were thinking about.
We've pulled the information together. We're just kind of waiting to find out if you guys want to have a separate task force, or we're open to whatever you guys want to do
Well,
next.
you know, we got a crematorium on the agenda, which has been tabled, I know, but all these other things, the grooming and the vet clinics and roughing at daycare and all that stuff, I think it would be beneficial if we looked at all of those uses and where we can put them and what we can do with them. I know
Yeah.
we have some of them kind of now, but I still have a problem with the way we do some of it, so.
We have assembled the information, and we can certainly meet whenever you guys are ready.
Because I think it would be nice if we could get some of the people that are involved in some of these activities to also come in and, give us their input.
Are we best off by doing a subcommittee from this committee, or do you want to just take it on as a whole, Frank, or what are your
Well,
thoughts?
I think maybe a subcommittee with some citizens as well as people on the commission and people in planning, and just put a look at everything together and then basically bring it back to us if we're going to make some zoning changes or changes to the zoning code or where these facilities can go, Because like right now you got groomings in R1s and I mean, they're all over the place. And, there's different, the daycares, I know where they are. I mean, we usually have to get those somehow to make sure they're okay, where they're going to go. But there's going to be other things too, so.
Okay.
Yeah, staff is ready to, however you guys want to move forward, if you want it on the agenda. I think there's a lot, potentially what he's talking about is probably it might be better to do a separate, but.
In fairness, there's a lot of, I'm just going off here, but there's a lot of separate stuff with this. We've heard from other people, and there's some definite sides on this thing. And so I want to be careful with that too, how we open that up. My thought is that we would do a subcommittee from here first and get kind of that established, and that committee can then dig into it a little bit and see what's fair is fair, and bring those people in after that at that time and say, okay, hey, what do you guys think about where we're at with this, and what would you like to see changed? Almost want some direction for that so it doesn't get out of hand, is what I worry about with that. I don't know, Frank, does that make sense?
It's just something so that, I mean, a lot of these people aren't going to come in till they want to do something.
Correct.
Like the Red Hydrant or whatever, those animal facilities. But if we had a little better perspective of where we could put these things, so when they come into Mr. Brooks, they got more of an idea, so they don't try to say, well, we got to go change everything to be in there,
Right.
and go through.
I agree with the
steps.
thought, and I think
Yeah.
it needs to be dealt with as well. I'm just trying to get ideas on how to go about it. And
I just think it needs to be looked at, period.
so, yeah, the science subcommittee, we brought in Newman and we brought in Indigo to give us kind of a presentations of what they see the market going to, because we don't know. So I think, I kind of vision it the same kind of way. Like you said, you bring in those experts to sit on it with I would say 3 of this committee to give them that stage to do that, yet 3 people that kind of help facilitate it and direct it. So I'm looking for volunteers. I'm looking at 4 volunteers.
Since I brought it up, I'd be glad to be a volunteer on it.
Okay. Anyone else interested? Mr. Budke? Anyone else? Myself, I'd like to see 3.
Steve, I will.
Mr. Kuhn?
Mr. Kuhn, there he
Thank
is.
you, Mr. Kuhn. All right.
We'll set up with those 3 and
There's your
send out.
subcommittee.
Yep,
I want to be informed on it and
Okay.
keen to keep
we will
with
do
it,
that.
so we kind of follow up.
Yep, absolutely. So we'll follow up with the you 3, CCU, Mr. Wasvik, and you'll be getting emails from us and setting up some dates.
That sounds great.
Perfect.
That sounds great. Thank you, Mr. Matichak, for bringing that up. Any other business? Seeing none? Look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Mr. Mattson, second by Mr. Lunsky. Meeting adjourned. I'm not going to vote on it.
Thanks, Pete.
Seen the last High Plains race?
I couldn't part of your text on my watch here. I thought it's what it said.